Happy New Year, everyone. It's week 18 of the NFL season, the first ever week 18. We'll conclude the NFL regular season schedule and feature two games in which both teams are still trying to get into the playoffs. The Chargers visit the Raiders, and the winner is in on Saturday. The Ravens host the Steelers. Whoever wins that game still has the shot. The loser's out. Which teams will rise to the occasion in week 18 and get to the playoffs? Welcome to the January 4th Father, Son, Holy Sport Weekly Podcast. What's up, T?
What's going on, G-Man? Excited. You see I got all my Cincinnati gear on, not only the Bearcats in the playoffs, the Cincinnati Bengals locked down the AFC North. Great weekend. So much fun.
Well, do I need to tell you? Do you look at my background?
I know. You're
I'm
just a
with
Joey
you,
B fan. It's
with
a Cincinnati
you,
fandom here.
Yeah, come on. I'm a Ohio boy, you know? Athens, Ohio. The truth from Athens, Ohio, Joey Burrow. Hey, man, let's kick things off with the January 4th edition of the Ross Rundown. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, Holy Sport Weekly Podcast brought to you by our friends at Woundwise IQ. Hey, y'all, do us a favor and press the like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. And let's get right into it. Team Money, first question for you that I have is, what's next for the Browns after missing those playoffs?
Man, I think they got to just take a step back, reevaluate Baker Mayfield at this point. I don't think you're going to be able to find anyone better unless you can trade for Deshaun Watson. I like their team. I like their core. I like the young guys. The defense is getting better towards the end of the year. I think they need to run it back one more time unless they can get Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, etc. And, Baker's already said he's going to get surgery and not play this week. I think he should have done that a long time ago. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I really think get Baker healthy, bring everyone back, another year under the system. I think the Browns are going to be formidable and can get to the playoffs and win a game like they did last year.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Baker has that last year left, and he wants some big money. He wants paid like some of the other guys. So is he willing to be patient and hang in there and prove? I think next year is a prove-it year. Is he willing to wait and do that? He's 29-30 as the Browns starter in 4 seasons. He did well. The second half of last year, everybody thought he was the guy. Wrote him into the playoffs. And then this year has been a big disappointment. So he's going to have to prove it next year and stay in there. And I'll tell you what, Burrow has escalated this whole situation because of how fast he came in and escalated the Bengals to the top. And that's really putting a lot of more pressure on this than there probably would have been.
No, that's a great point because Big Ben's out. Then you're only looking at really Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in the division. But like you said, Joe Burrow just escalated this thing, going from, the Bengals expecting to get a top 5 pick this year probably to them winning the division. Crazy. You're right, man. That's a great point. So we'll see what they do up there in Cleveland. But hey, down in Cincinnati, we're enjoying it all right now. But speaking of the Bengals, they had a hell of a showing versus Kansas City this week. After winning the division, are the Bengals Super Bowl contenders, G?
Absolutely. Did you see this team go toe-to-toe with Kansas City? They beat Kansas City in a shootout. The guy behind me is on fire, and they played head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes. That showed you right there. They're 10-6. They've won 3 in a row. They've clinched the division. Who would have thought at the beginning of the year was all talking about who's going to win out of Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland? No one considered Cincinnati.
Crazy.
And now look where they're at. Joey B, man.
Hey, it's impressive. And I hate to do this to my own team, but I don't think they are. Unfortunately, when's the last time you saw a team with a young quarterback or inexperienced quarterback who's never even won a playoff game, let alone played in one, and win the Super Bowl? I can't think of someone like that as a contender in my head. If he wins a playoff game, the next year they're contenders. That's a contender in my mind. He gets to a playoff game, he wins that, he proves he can win a playoff game. But regular season and playoffs are 2 different things in the NFL. They're just completely different. And I know this guy's ice cold veins, but I don't know if I can consider them contenders yet, especially with Zach Taylor as their head coach.
Yeah, well, we're going to see, man. We're going to see. I think they can take it a long way here. Hey, let's look at some of the other contenders in the AFC, Team Money. Do you think we should take the Titans seriously?
Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I physically cannot do it. And I think it's because they're scheduled down the stretch here. Okay. Let's just take a quick look at what they had at the end of the year here. They played Houston, New England, and they lost those games. Jacksonville, they win easy. Pittsburgh, they lose. That's a tough game. San Francisco, they win barely. San Francisco gave that game away. Miami, they crushed them. I just think, without Derrick Henry here, they've won the games that they're supposed to win. They lose the games they're supposed to lose and more, losing to Houston and Pittsburgh. If they should be better than them. I just think they've gotten off with an easy schedule. And I don't trust Ryan Tannehill to be the only offensive guy on my team. I give him props. Like, Vrabel's got to be up for coach of the year here for getting them the 1 seed potentially. Like, that's crazy. But without Derrick Henry, there's no way I can consider these guys contenders. I don't trust Ryan Tannehill to win a Super Bowl. I don't know about you, but I can't take him seriously with Ryan Tannehill being the best guy on their team.
Well, Ryan Tannehill is the weak link, but they're going to have Derrick Henry back. So just think about, hey, what's this going to be? He just got released to go practice, so he's going to start practicing. Yeah. So they're moving him out there. The guy's going to be back. The Titans are the top seed right now in the AFC right now, which means they get a bye. And the word is he's back for that first game if they get a bye.
I did hear that he's potentially back. That's tough because you don't know how someone's going to look coming off an injury, especially with a guy that big. I don't know what it is. I can't take the Titans seriously. I just physically cannot do it. There's too many good teams in that division or in that conference. I don't know. Do you take them seriously? I mean, do you?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, remember they were in the AFC Championship 2 years ago.
They were.
So they were in that championship game. Last year they won their division and Buffalo beat them out. They won their division just like they did this year. They beat the Colts again in their division. And
not sure.
Buffalo stopped them last year, and it looks like it could come down this year. Maybe Buffalo and Kansas City are still the two best teams, even after last year. Buffalo, Kansas City, now here they come. They're back again, unless the Titans or someone else can crash the party.
It'll be interesting to see if Derrick Henry comes back here. But my real question when we transfer over to the other conference here, the Bucs had an interesting weekend with Antonio Brown leaving the game, middle of the game versus the Jets. They almost lose to the Jets. I mean, are the Bucs falling apart here? Antonio Brown's gone. I mean, what's going on with these guys? What do you see going forward?
Oh, yeah, they appeared to be falling apart. Didn't play well against the Jets. They had the issue with Antonio. Now they don't have Antonio and Chris Godwin. The defense is okay. They're not as good, but they just need to get some guys back. So, they got some holes, but TB12, man, TB12 will not let that happen. I mean, this guy will carry them on. There's only so many quarterbacks in this league that can carry a team on their shoulders, and he's one of them. I don't know if there's many. There's probably 5 in the whole league that can do what he does. But they cruise the division title. They're 12-4. They've won 2 games in a row. They're going to be fine, man.
I don't know. They seem to be falling apart to me. Godwin's out. Antonio Brown's gone. Mike Evans is banged up. I mean, is Tom Brady really about to go win a Super Bowl with Scotty Miller and Brashad Perryman?
Who's the guy that he threw the touchdown to, the winning touchdown against the Jets?
Everyone's caught one great.
Cyril. Okay. His name was Cyril. Okay. If that guy won a game with a receiver named Cyril.
I'm just saying, Gary, if we're going to count everyone's best catch ever, then awesome. Like, that's not how this works. We're talking down to down basis here. Scotty Miller is not going to win you football games. I just am concerned with the receiving core. Leonard Fournette is also out. And this defense is, like you said, is banged up and is not as good as they were last year. The Bucs are legitimately falling apart at the seams right now. I do not trust them to win or get to the AFC or championship game at this point. I don't think they can. I don't think they can beat Arizona or the Rams. I don't see it. The Eagles are a good team right now. They're 8 out of the 10 potential scenarios have the Eagles going to the Patriots, or sorry, to the Bucks to play. The Eagles are going to give them trouble. I mean, I don't see it.
Carolina's visiting Tampa this Sunday. Tampa's going to sit back, get a little rest. Tom Brady might start, but he'll rest. I'm sure the second half they're going to rest these guys up. They're going to get ready, man. They're gearing up for another run. They're coming for another run, man. Let's stay in the NFC with one of the surprise teams you just mentioned, and let's talk about the Eagles, man. You impressed by this team?
I am shockingly impressed because I thought Nick Sirianni was a joke. I mean, he was like 38 years old and he wasn't even calling plays. He was like a QB coach. And that's why I make fun of Cincinnati, because they hired a QB coach, like Zach Taylor. You know, you just don't have the experience that is needed to coach a football team. But my God, I mean, he's done an impressive job. Like, I have to give Zach Taylor his flowers. I also have to give Nick Sirianni his flowers. The Eagles are in the playoffs, no matter what happens this weekend. Yeah. It's been an impressive run. Jalen Hurts, no matter what his stats show, that dude's a winner. It doesn't matter if he throws 5 passes or 50 passes. That guy is just a winner. He knows how to find the end zone. He's clearly got the locker room because of just the man he is. I'm impressed with Jalen Hurts, and I'm shockingly impressed with Nick Sirianni.
Jalen Hurts has been that way ever since college. The guy just, ever since he sat on the sideline, watched Tua throw that bomb for a touchdown after Tua came in and replaced him, and he just held it, humble. He congratulated Tua. He was humble. Okay, then he went to Oklahoma. But still, the guy is respectful. He's a great leader. The locker room has always loved him, and so have the coaches, and he's leading that team. That's what he does.
I mean, I'm just going to be shocked if the Eagles after this season go for a new quarterback or draft a new quarterback. It seems to be heading that way. They're just not convinced with Jalen Hurts right now. But I mean, he's a second-year quarterback and got you to the playoffs. I don't understand what the confusion is here. Joe Burrow, Herbert's trying to make the playoffs. Everyone loves Herbert, but he's a second-year guy and hasn't gotten the Chargers to the playoffs. The Eagles are in the playoffs.
Eagles are at home.
I mean, they're crazy.
Eagles at home this week versus the Cowboys in that Saturday night game. Dallas favored by 7, but like you said, the Eagles are in, so they can kind of chill a little bit knowing that they're in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, let's go to a team in their own division. I mean, the Giants are a mess right now. Do they need to fire Joe Judge? Do they need to get rid of Daniel Jones? I mean, what's next for these guys? What do they got to do here?
Oh, no. Joe Judge is losing it, man. You see him ranting and raving and swearing in the press. I mean, you don't do that if you're a leader of a team. I mean, the way he went on and on and on. I just don't see it. It's now their 5th consecutive losing season. The last 2 have been with Judge. They're currently ranked 2nd worst in the NFL in offense.
Yeah.
They ended the game this last Sunday against the Bears. They had -10 passing yards. -10 passing yards. This guy is not improving the team. You got to see improvement. It's like any leader. Okay, you can take over a bad organization, but do you have it moving in the right direction? And they're not going in any direction.
Yeah, like I agree with what you said, everything you said. You're in charge of the offense. I don't care if you have a defensive background, a special teams background like he does. You're the head coach. You're in charge of getting this offense going, and it's looked pedestrian for 2 years. Daniel Jones has made no strides. You're 10-22, so you're barely winning 30% of your games here. I mean, he's just not been impressive. And like you said, culture's a big thing. He brags that people are calling him and free agents want to come to New York. No, they don't. All the reports coming out have said that people hate it there, that he has made the culture worse. He's making guys wrap up and hold tennis balls, run laps and practice. These grown men don't take to being coached like middle schoolers. And that's all the reports have come out and said. Not only does Judge need to go, Daniel Jones needs to go, and Gettleman especially needs to go, the GM. Clean house here. Don't like anyone there. Just start fresh.
I think you're right. Let me just finish this up. This Ross rundown. First show of 2022. Let me finish this up. Looking at the 5 worst teams in the NFL based on their record. Of course, the Giants are there at 4-12. We just talked about them. What do you think? Who do you think is the worst team? I'll give you a little rundown here. There's 2 teams that are 4-12. The Jets, who look pretty good with Zach Wilson against the Bucs. The Texans, they play San Fran this week. Or they played tough at San Fran. They play the Titans this week. They could beat the Titans. Anyway, Jets and Texans are 4-12 along with the Giants. And then you have 2 teams that are worse. The Lions, 2-13-1, and the Jags, 2-14. Who would you say out of that group that you feel worst about? Is it the Giants?
Man, I would say the Giants usually, but the Jaguars right now are so bad. But at least they have their franchise quarterback, so I'm like griping with that. The Giants don't. But man, everything else about the Jaguars is horrible. Trevor Lawrence has looked horrible. Their roster's horrible. Their GM's not good. And right now, their head coaching and their culture seems horrible. So I have to go with the Jags at the moment. Like you said, the Jets have looked good in spurts. The Lions clearly love Dan Campbell. They fight for him. So I like the culture there. You know, the Texans have shown like Davis Mills might be the best rookie quarterback right now. Crazy.
Yeah.
People don't realize that guy was the number 1 recruit coming out of the country when he was in college, but went to Stanford and kind of got lost in the mix. 3rd round pick by the Texans. Good pick, Texans. But it's between the Giants and Jags. So who knows?
I agree. And it just shows you that the Lions at 2-13-1. It just shows you that the leader of the team makes a difference. Even though it's 2-13-1, the guy has the culture. It's going as a positive culture. People like playing for him. That's what you want. That's what these teams need at the bottom.
Yep.
Hey, man, we hope you're loving the new Ross Rundown, a special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. If you're interested in being a guest on a Ross Rundown, reach out to us. This is sponsored by Woundwise IQ. Woundwise IQ is a patented mobile analytics software app that automatically measures and analyzes chronic and surgical wounds. It is used by leading physicians and nurses caring for people with chronic wounds to document their healing progress. Just download the app from the App Store. You're ready to go. Learn more at woundwiseiq.com. Hey, if you love the show like we love you, please press the like and subscribe and look for some of our other shows and segment clips where you play your podcast. Look for us at Father, Son, and Holy Sport, or you can check out our new website where you can find all of our shows, even buy merchandise. It's Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. T-Money, have fun this weekend watching that extra 18th week of games, baby.
All right, man. Bengals keeping it together, winning the North. All right, we'll catch you later.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, let's move on here, G-Man, if you're ready. It's the Big Bet Show.
I thought it was Chug and Chant.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, your audience.
We want to see you chug that beer,
Everyone wants to see me chug.
That's what we want to see. So let's get it on.
Let's dive in here.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome into this week's Chug and Chant. I'm your main man, T-Money. We got G-Man over there. I'm about to give you the rant here that everyone's waiting for. All right. So let me chug this beer, and then I'm going to go in on someone who you wouldn't expect.
And it is a Bud Light.
Woo! All right. We're going at the Cowboys here. All right. And I do this a lot. I call them out. The Buffalo Bills, I told you they're overrated. I've told you other things, but the Cowboys, they're overrated. All right. They're overrated. They're 6-5 this year versus teams that aren't in the NFC East. And the NFC East is the worst team in the NFL. It's the worst division. Dak's 17th in the NFL in QBR. He's behind Kirk Cousins and Jimmy G. This team beats up on bad teams in its division. Versus 500 teams and teams that are good, they're not a good team. Dak is 14-20 versus everyone else the last 4 years that aren't in the NFC East. All right. Teams that have a winning record over the last 4 years. He's 8-17 versus. All right. And you're going to be like, oh, well, look at this defense. Diggs has the most interceptions in the NFL. That's awesome. He's also given up the most yards in the NFL. All right. As a DB, this team is overrated. They pick on the NFC least. They're not going to win a playoff game. Mike McCarthy is a trash coach who doesn't do anything, doesn't understand the concept of timeouts. This team's going nowhere. Enjoy sitting at home watching the conference championships and Super Bowls again, because the Cowboys, you're out of luck. G-Man, what do you think?
I think you're hilarious. Oh, man, I love your chant, man. That's good. Hey, man, people forget last year this team was 6-10. They did not make the playoffs. And you know why? Because Dak was not there. People said, oh, my God, Dak is the most important guy on any team in the NFL. That's what everybody was saying. Last year, Washington won the NFC East at 7-9. The Dallas Cowboys were 6-10.
Okay.
Well, hey, man, point? They've made a nice comeback.
I didn't say they were a bad team. I just said they're overrated.
11-5. They've clinched their division title.
They play the worst division in football.
The number 4 seed in the NFC. So they've made a great progress with Dak back.
Yeah, I'm not saying Dak's bad. I just think he's Kirk Cousins. He's just Kirk Cousins with a better fan base. I think the Cowboys are just an okay team. They're a playoff team. The Eagles made the playoffs. I like the Eagles more than I like the Cowboys. We'll find out this weekend, won't we? But I'm just saying, these guys are not world beaters. They just beat up and have great record because they play the worst division in football. Congrats on that. You're not going anywhere else.
Yeah. No, that is true. There's a doubleheader on Saturday evening. The second game at 8:30, Dallas at Philly. Dallas favored by 7 in that one. What do you think about that game?
Give me Philly, man.
You want Philly in that one? Okay. Yeah. Philly has more. I don't know if you heard, just saw it before we jumped on the show here on the set. 12 players just tested positive for Philly on the COVID list, included Goddard, Boston Scott, and Jordan Howard. So they got some guys heading on COVID.
We'll see. It'll be a fun game. I just think these Cowboys are drastically overrated because of hype and how the media covers them.
Well, what is it about the Cowboys, man? You watch every talk show. You watch every talk show tomorrow morning, they'll all be talking about the Cowboys. Everybody wants to talk about the Cowboys.
Gary Jones got them in their back pocket, baby.
I don't know. Hey, man, it's a great team. It remains to be seen. We've been saying all year that there's 5 teams in the NFC that can win that NFC. They've been one of that 5. They're now the 4 seed. All those 5 teams made it in. So it's going to be interesting to see if Dallas can emerge from that group. Last year, they couldn't do it, man. It was Green Bay and Tampa in that championship. Can Dallas break into the party? Hey, we hope you love the Chug and Chant this week. A special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. If you're interested in being a sponsor of the Chug and Chant or a guest chugger with T-Money on the show, let us know. If you love the show like we love you, press the like and subscribe for us. You can find our shows and segments where you play your podcast. Look for us at Father, Son, and Holy Sport, or you can check out our new website where you can find all our show info and even buy merchandise. It's Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. T-Money. No games on Thursday this week, but we do have a doubleheader Saturday. So enjoy the game. Let's see what your Cowboys can do to win back your heart.
All right. We'll see, G-Man.
All right.
Great. Now we're going to move to the big bets, baby.
Yeah. All right. Hey, welcome to the January 4th Big Bets Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast that is brought to you by our friends at Help Me Startup. Hey, y'all, do us a favor and press that like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. And we're going to move right into the picks of the week. We know we have to be careful with our picks this week. The season's kind of winding down. We're in the last weeks of the season. So some teams might be resting players. We're looking out for you. We're giving you the best picks because we know how to do that. G-Man, 66% accuracy this year. against the spread last year, 67%. G-Man staying consistent for you. If you're interested in being a guest on our Big Bet segment or challenging the G-Man with your picks, reach out to us. We're going to do 3 picks here for you today. I got T-Money here with me. We're going to do a lock of the week. We got the dog lock. We got the player or team prop lock. We're going to give you locks here all the way through the show. And let's go first to our lock pick of the week, which is any kind of pick that we think is a definite lock. T-Money, what do you got?
All right. My lock of the week here. I'm going Kansas City -9.5 versus the Broncos. I like this pick a lot. Kansas City is ticked off that they lost to the Bengals. They still have a shot at getting the 1 seed if they win, so they're gonna be motivated. The Broncos, they don't care anymore. They're done for the season. They know they're probably gonna get wiped here. They got beat 22-9 last time they played the Broncos, which is pretty solid to keep Kansas City to 22. That was during Patrick Mahomes' slump. I think they go off. This game might be 40-9 this time. I mean, I don't know how the Broncos score. The Kansas City's defense is solid other than when they play the Bengals, I guess. I like Kansas City to blow them out of the water here.
Hey, man, like we did a couple weeks ago, I like the Chiefs too. I'm going to stick with my Chiefs pick.
All right.
Hey, man, I'm going to stick with my Chiefs pick. Along with you, they're pursuing the number 1 seed. And like you said, Denver has nothing to play for.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you there, man. The Chiefs are also 4-1 against the spread the last 5 times these guys have met. And the last time they faced off in Denver, which is where this game is, Kansas City won 43-16. The Chiefs are playing first on Saturday. The Titans have to lose Sunday to help them out. So the Chiefs had to do this.
Motivated.
The line on the game started at -3. Do you know that? And it's now
I didn't
10.
know that. That's crazy.
It was -3 and went to -10. So
I'm surprised it only started at that. That's crazy.
And I'm going to give you an extra bonus pick since we both picked the same one. And I know you guys out there want another pick from G-Man.
Bonus pick.
So I'm going to give you Dallas -7 against that Philly team T-Money loves. I'm going to give you the bonus pick. Dallas goes in and routes Philly. Philly happy with the fact that they made the playoffs. They get some guys on COVID, and they kind of sit back and take a little rest, and Dallas pummels them. Hey, let's move on to our dog lock. I'm going to go to T-Money first.
All right. Here's the dog lock of the week here. These are underdogs. We think you could bet the money line to potentially win as well. This dog lock of the week for me, Texans +10.5 versus the Titans. Huge underdog here, but they beat the Titans earlier this year. They won 22-13. I know that was with Tyrod Taylor, but man, Davis Mills has been playing well, and the Titans are kind of up and down. They're going to come in lackadaisical because they kind of know they're already in the playoffs, and they're like, oh, it's just the Texans. We'll get the 1 seed. It's not going to matter. No, the Texans are going to come in fired up. That's a division game. I like the Texans to at least cover, but hey, don't be shocked they win this thing.
I love that pick. And that would really shake it up. And that's amazing that they're 10.5 point dogs, man, because you're right. They could win that game.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. It's kind of like their Super Bowl. I'm going to go to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore for the 1 p.m. game that finds the Ravens favored by 5.5 against the visiting Steelers. And hey, man, I'm going with that dog right there. Did you see Big Ben last night? That crowd loves him. That team fights for him. Did you see that defense? Yeah. I have not seen that level of intensity all year. That defense can help them. Najee Harris was running like a madman. Najee Harris is a stud, and he was trying to bring it home for Big Ben. What a team, man. They're starting to fight for this guy. The Ravens, this is going to be a close game. I like the points. Pittsburgh could win. These guys are fighting. They're 2 teams fighting for the final 6 playoff spots. So they're 2 of 6. They need a lot of things to happen. But the first thing they need to do win. The road team's 7-3 against the spread. the last time 10 times these guys have met. I'm going with the road team. Pittsburgh Steelers take it.
All right. I can't complain there. Ravens have been so up and down. Like you said, that defense looks amazing. But let's transition now to one of my new favorite segments here.
Yeah.
This is G-Man's prop of the week. All right. Come on.
Yeah.
He's always
Player.
on JT and he's got all these
Player
boys,
prop.
Player prop of the week for G-Man. G-Man,
Yeah.
take it away. What's your player prop of the week?
Hey, for the prop lock, I'm going player prop lock. I'm going to State Farm Stadium, T-Money, Glendale, Arizona, where the Cardinals host the Seahawks Sunday at 4:25. Hey, did you know that this game is the second highest scoring game of the week? If you look at the points that are supposed to be scored, second only to the Raiders and Chargers. So high scoring game. I'm looking at pass completions by Kyler Murray. The over-under is 22.5 completions. He just completed 27 for 245 yards and a touchdown against the Colts. The week before that, he completed 26 for 263 yards against the Cowboys. And did you know that the Seahawks rank 31st out of 32 NFL teams and opponents pass yards per game? I think Murray keeps this clicking, man. He throws more than 22.5 completions. Go on the over on that player prop.
All right. Let's see if Kyler can do it for you. Seahawks, like you said, bad defense, so should be right up his alley.
Hey, well, thank you for that. Hey, let me give you one last bonus before we close it out here.
All right.
Looking at the college football, there's no Monday night football for in the NFL, but there is Monday night football in college. And what do you think about the college championship bonus pick for all of our fans out there? We got Alabama, number 1, Georgia, number 3. They both go into the semis and clock their opponents. And the line starts off at 2.5, Georgia by 2.5. Remember early in the year when we interviewed Steve McDonald, you were all over Georgia. You thought Georgia could take it all away. And Here they are in that title game. They started as 2.5-point favorites. Now the line's moved up to 3. The over-under's 52. What are you thinking about this game, man? What's your pick of the week for this? You like the over-under? You like the game? Monday night at 6 p.m. What do you think?
Give me Georgia again. I'm taking it. It's hard to beat someone twice. They looked incredible versus Michigan. And hey, Cincinnati, if we did anything, we showed Georgia the way to slow them down. We're one of 2 teams to keep Alabama under 30 points since 2018. So we showed you how to defend these guys, and their offense looked like it was clicking. Now go do it, Georgia. I think they can do it.
Hey, that's good, man. I love it. I love it. Hey, we hope you're loving the Big Bets Football Show. And as always, please be responsible. Only bet what you can afford to lose. The Big Bet Football Show is a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly podcast, and sponsored by our friends at Help Me Startup. Help Me Startup. Do you have a startup or new company idea? Why not get help from the experts at Help Me Startup? Try the coaching advice and tools to help you get moving and on your way toward investment and success. Learn more at helpmestartup.co. All right. Hey, if you love the show like we love you, press the like and subscribe, and look for some of our other shows and segments where you play your podcasts at Father, Son, and Holy Sport, or you can check out our new website. You can learn all about our shows and even buy merchandise. It's Father, Son, and HolySport.com. T-Money. Enjoy the Saturday evening NFL doubleheader, baby. Should be a good one. Dallas and Philly.
All right. You too, man. We'll see you later.
You.
All right. Let's jump in. The fantasy show of the week with DFS, man.
Hey, happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the January 4th Fantasy Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast. Hey, y'all, do us a favor. Press the like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. What's up, T?
What's going on, man? Congratulations on winning our fantasy football championship. G-Man, champion last 2 of the 3 years. This guy just started playing fantasy for the first time 3 years ago. Already the best fantasy guy I know. Impressive stuff from G-Man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I learned from the best, man. When I first started, I didn't know anything. You took me under your wing and you groomed me. And now the pupil is starting to pass the teacher.
Yeah,
So
I guess Kirby Smart over here is trying to take down Nick Saban. I don't know what's going on here. This is unacceptable.
well, thanks, man. It was an awesome year. I love playing with you and the rest of the league. And it's an honor to win that league. There's some great players in there. So, hey, man, I can't wait for the party we're going to have.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's kick it off with hot and cold, our hot and cold game. G-Man doing the hot. I'm going to try to find you the best value DFS players this week to help you win your DFS tournament. T-Money going to talk about cold starters you want to stay away from. Keep them off your team, or they're going to break your heart, man. T-Money, he went 2 for 3 last week. Now it's 59% accuracy on his cold picks. T-Money showing it there.
Come on.
And keep in mind, we're recording our shows on Tuesday, so a lot can change. And keep in mind also, it's week 18. Players are going to be sitting maybe in the second half. So we took that into account. We're giving you players that have something to play for. At least I am. Hot pick starting off with G-Man at the quarterback. Hot. I'm going with Taysom Hill, the quarterback of the Saints, going for $6,200 on DraftKings. The Saints play the Falcons, who beat them in week 3. But this time the Saints have a shot at the postseason. So I'm assuming Hill's playing all 4 quarters, going to try to get them in. He threw for 222 yards last week and a touchdown. He also rushed for 45 yards. So he's got the dual threat upside, like someone like Jalen Hurts. He wants to end this season on a high note and lead his team to the playoffs. So he's going to have a lot of motivation. Taysom Hill's my hot quarterback.
All right. I like it. He definitely could do it. Let's jump over to my cold quarterback, though. And this one is probably more because he doesn't have a lot to play for, and that's Joe Burrow, projected for 20.3 versus Cleveland. I think that this guy's going to be cold this week, mainly because I think he only plays a quarter, a half. I don't know. He doesn't really need to play. And even if he does play, I don't think it's going to be passionate. I don't think they're going to put him in any sort of danger. They might just run the ball the whole time. So Joe Burrow, my cold quarterback of the week, purely because there's not much to play for, if at all.
Joey B, rest up, baby. Rest up, man. Hey, let's go to the running backs. I'm going to my hot running back out to San Francisco, where T-Money's at right now. Elijah Mitchell. Injuries have been an issue for Mitchell, but he's back now. And when he gets back, he dominates the volume. This past Sunday, he had 23 touches, 130 yards, a touchdown, and 24 fantasy points. He's gone over 19 fantasy points 5 times. I like Elijah Mitchell going for only $6,000 on DraftKings.
I like it. But I'm going to stay in the game and go with the other running back. And that's Sony Michel, projected 13.5 versus San Francisco.
Oh,
he's only been over 11 the last 2 games because he scored a touchdown. This San Francisco defense is solid. I don't trust him versus this good D line. And, he hasn't been really getting a ton of touches, just a close goal line scores here. Sony Michel, solid running back, but this week versus San Francisco, no score for him, which means no hot week.
That Rams offense is just up and down. You don't know what's going to come.
Know.
Sometimes they ride Sony, sometimes they don't. Hey, let's go to the wide receivers for a hot and cold game. I'm going for the hot wide receiver in that same team. Brandon Ayuk from San Fran, only going for $5,600. I just think is a great buy on DraftKings. Ayuk's season will probably be remembered as disappointing because of everything that's happened this year with them. But he has had a good run. He has scored double-digit fantasy points in 5 of the last 7 games. A lot of people don't know that. So he's really coming in here. I like this because of those double digits and the fact that he's only $5,600. They have to win this game. So I think he's going to step up here. Brandon Ayuk.
Yep, going to be interesting. I think he's more of a target for Trey Lance, whereas Jimmy G likes Deebo Samuel. So that's a good choice there. What I'm going with here for my cold wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, 14.7 versus New England. He's been having a good little streak here, but New England has a chance to move up in the seeding, and they want to make sure that they could potentially win the division if Buffalo loses. I'm just saying, I think that they're going to take away Jalen Waddle from doing anything. He's the only good part of that entire Miami offense. And you know what Bill Belichick does? He takes away your best option. Jalen Waddle's going to have a cold week like he did when he played New England earlier this year with only 11 points. I think Jalen Waddle does not get over 15 points this week, and he is a cold wide receiver.
Okay, so just summarizing that, when you're building your DFS lineups, G-Man says the 3 hot picks to look at are Tyson Hills from New Orleans, Elijah Mitchell from San Fran at the running back, and wide receiver Ayuk. T-Money says stay away from Joe Burrow at the quarterback, Sonny Michel at the running back, and Waddle at the wide receiver. All right, let's go to our next game. Take or mistake. We'll hopefully help you with some crucial decisions here. I pick a player that had a big week last week. T-Money tells me whether we should take the bait or if it was last week was a mistake. And he doesn't know who I'm going to ask him. This is a surprise. We're going to start off with the guy he's talked about at quarterback. Trey Lance completed 16 of 23 passes for 249 yards, T-Money, and 2 touchdowns Sunday. Added 31 yards on the ground. Assuming Jimmy G is not playing again this week, can DFS managers trust Lance to deliver in a huge matchup against the Rams? T-Money, is Trey Lance a take, or would that be a mistake?
I think he's a solid option if you want to go very cheap at QB, but I think it's a mistake. That Rams defense is legit. I think he's just going to go up against a vaunted defense here, and I would be skeptical of him getting in the over this week.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's go to the running back. I'm looking at Deonta Foreman from Tennessee, subbing in there for Derrick Henry. He's rushed the ball 26 times last week for 132 yards and a touchdown as they beat the Dolphins. Though the Titans used 3 backs, can Foreman manage to top 100 rushing yards again in his Week 18 matchup against those Texans that you like, T-Money? T-Money, is Deonta Foreman a take, or would that be a mistake?
I'm shocked he's getting this many carries. It's shocking. I think that's a mistake. Like you said, he's in a running back by committee here. He just had the hot hand that day. He's not even the starter, I don't even think. So I would not take that. And he had a great day, but they killed Miami. So I think it was just bludgeoning while down more than anything.
Okay. 2 mistakes so far. Let's see if I can get you on the wide receiver.
All right.
Going to the Las Vegas Raiders, Zay Jones recorded 8 receptions on 10 targets for 120 yards as they beat the Colts Sunday. He surpassed 100 yards for the first time in his career. Will Jones remain heavily involved in the game plan heading into a huge Week 18 matchup against the Chargers? T-Money, Zay Jones, is he a take, or would that be a mistake?
3 for 3 here, G. That's a mistake. Zay Jones it's Brian Edwards and Hunter Renfrow. Those are the 2 top guys right now. Even Deshaun Jackson's there, who I like more than Zay Jones. Look, he had a great week, and they covered Renfrow well, but especially when Waller's back, that's the main guy. I would not take that. That's a mistake.
T-Money, look at T-Money giving the advice like he always does. Hey, great job, man. Hey, the Fantasy Football Show is a segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast. If you're interested in being a sponsor of the Fantasy Football Show or a guest picker, let us know. And if you love the show like we love you, please press the like and subscribe for us. You can look for some of our other segments and clips where you play your podcast. Look for at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Or you can, check out our new website where you can find all of our show info and even buy merchandise. It's Father, Son, and HolySport.com. T-Money, good luck in your DraftKings DFS tournament this weekend, baby.
All right. You too, man. I'll see you later. Good luck.
You too.